Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
I'm Mara McDonald, live in Warren. President Trump came to town to talk about the replacement to NAFTA and then decided to dish on a whole lot more that's important to Michigan and specifically Macomb.
All right, Mara, but first, one of the more destructive smash and grabs you'll see, this one involving a stolen pickup. And we'll start right there at 6 o'clock. It's been a day of cleanup and frustration at the mobile gas station near Oakwood and Schaefer in Melvindale.
Coco McAvoy has two angles of surveillance video, and using the magic of television, she takes you to the scene of the crime.
It's early in the morning. It's quiet here at the mobile gas station. The propane tanks are locked away safely, but a couple of guys decide to make a move in a stolen red pickup truck. The first attempt, you can see they barely knocked the door off the hinges. The two men, desperate for the ATM, try to get inside of the gas station, but the door isn't fully open. So one of the bad guys tries reaching around to unlock it. It doesn't work, and broken glass starts showering down on him. These guys have had enough. They're covered in glass. They haven't made it through the gas station yet, so they decide to put the car in reverse and barrel right through the front doors.
No, not too bright at all. These guys didn't know what they were doing. They almost hit the propane tank trying to smash into the gas station.
And Mohammed Akhtar says they found out about the attempted robbery just after 3 o'clock this morning.
And we found the cops here, and we found the gas station, as you can see, like smashed in.
Leaving behind a big mess.
They could almost brought down the whole building if they kept going. But thankfully, they didn't.
The guys didn't even get the ATM they were aiming for and left with nothing. But Akhtar hopes that clear surveillance video will help police find them.
Thankfully, no one was hurt. Thankfully, nothing was robbed. But it's still frustrating that the damages that we got to deal with right now. And I just hope the police somehow catch these people.
And crews really worked quickly to put up a new wall. Now police were able to find the pickup truck, but they're still looking for the suspects. Back to you.
If you know anything, speak up. Two incredible angles there, Coco. Thanks.
President Donald Trump met by an enthusiastic crowd in Warren today as he visited the auto supplier Dana.
Mara McDonald is live to break down the president's comments. And Mara, he focused on autos and planes.
He did. He focused on a lot, and most things that were Michigan-centric. You know, the choice of Dana was not an accident. This is an automotive supplier. Dana made it very clear that they were pleased to host the president. And yes, he did talk about the USMCA, which is that NAFTA replacement. But then he dished on a whole lot more. Take a look.
They took our jobs for a long time. They took it for a long time, and we now have a brand new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement. It's a whole different ballgame. And it's going to be great for this plant. It's going to be incredible for Michigan and for every place else in our country. The USMCA is the fairest, most balanced, and beneficial trade agreement we have ever signed into law. It's the best agreement we've ever made.
The president's visit to Dana was to tout the benefits to the auto industry of the replacement to NAFTA, the USMCA. And he did that. But then he launched into a laundry list of Michigan-centric items our congressional delegation has been pursuing in some cases for years, including re-upping a massive funding commitment to overhaul the Soo Locks, monies necessary to protect the Great Lakes from Asian carp, and then dropping something Macomb County has been pursuing for years, a new plane for Selfridge, the F-35, to take the base off any closure list.
And you know what that means, right? You know what that means. That's a big deal. So Selfridge, you're going to see a lot of very fast planes. Actually, they're totally stealth, so maybe you won't see them come in. Okay? You won't see them come in, but they're coming in.
Back here live, the vibe at this presidential visit was very different from a typical Trump rally. For example, there wasn't really any, castigating of the political rivals. He really stuck to a message, and really it was all economic in nature. We are live in Warren tonight. I'm Mara McDonald. Back to you.
Mara, thank you. And while the president is here, his impeachment trial continues in Washington. Senators are in the middle of their final day of questions for House prosecutors and President Trump's defense team. A critical vote is expected tomorrow on whether to call witnesses. The Senate remains divided on the issue. Democrats want ex-National Security Advisor John Bolton to testify, but Republican leaders are hoping to block that, to quickly acquit President Trump. 3 Republicans have shown interest in hearing from witnesses, but that would mean the vote fails in a 50-50 tie. Lester Holt and the NBC Nightly News team will have a full recap of today's hearings and a look ahead to what's next at 6:30.
Big developments on the coronavirus today. The World Health Organization has declared the outbreak a global emergency now. It's because the number of infected people spiked more than 10-fold in 1 week. And that comes as the U.S. is reporting its first case of it being spread person to person. The latest patient is the husband of a Chicago woman who got sick after she returned from a trip to China. There are now 6 confirmed cases in the U.S., 7,800 in China.
A second new victim has come forward in the hazing investigation at Warren de La Salle. His family came forward after being unhappy with the prosecutor's decision that there wasn't enough evidence to take the case to court. Warren Police Commissioner Bill Dwyer said the investigation into the alleged hazing is still open. The family says their son was victimized during the reported hazing incident and is willing to talk to police. The other alleged victims refused to speak to investigators.
Upsetting allegations coming out tonight as the city files suit against 2 companies behind that dock collapse 2 months ago along the Detroit River.
Local 4 defender Karen Drew has been digging through that lawsuit, and she joins us now with what she's found. Karen, good evening.
Kim and Jason, the lawsuit is more than 100 pages filled with violations by the property owners and the leasee and exposes the way these companies have continued to ignore the city, as this lawsuit states, putting taxpayers in danger.
Enough is enough. The city of Detroit is now taking Revere Dock LLC and Detroit Bulk Storage Incorporated to court.
How does a company set up shop in our city, pollute our area, and not be held accountable?
Again, there's a lot of things going on in the city of Detroit as far as development is concerned. This is one thing that we're digging into.
That was 2 weeks ago. Now the city says it has found enough wrongdoing, so it's filing suit. The lawsuit contends this property, where this green sinkhole was formed after spilling contaminated soil into the river, remains unsafe, blighted, public nuisance, and danger to the safety and welfare of the public. The suit goes on to state the property is not permitted, illegally stored aggregate, and there is the possibility that it may cause collapse and further contaminate the natural waterway. Revere Dock LLC is owned by Steve Erickson. His headquarters are here in Muskegon, so the defenders headed there looking for answers.
We're going to show up and see if we can get anyone from the company to talk to us. Looking for Steve Erickson or anyone on his behalf that could talk about some lawsuits that are going on involving this company.
We're told he's not at work. Maybe he's at home.
All right, this is where Steve Erickson lives. Nice fancy house on the lake. Let's see if he'll answer our questions.
No answer. Our calls and emails also ignored. Right now, the companies have $24,000 in blight violations, have a $37,000 unpaid drainage bill, and more than $1,700 in outstanding property taxes.
But it's also important that the company do what they can as quick as they can to resolve this issue that shouldn't have happened in the first place.
Meantime, experts from Eagle have been at the site this week doing underwater mapping to see exactly how much contaminated soil has gone into the river.
Now, if you recall, the parties involved did submit a remediation plan. It was not approved. They submitted a second one. That's been a week, and Eagle is still not sure if the plan is good enough. They are getting more opinions on the proposal. We'll be following it and share the latest. Back to you.
All right, Karen. The car companies are once again looking to make a big splash at the Super Bowl. General Motors will bring back the old Hummer brand in a brash new way. Local 4 business editor Rod Maloney is live in Rochester tonight with what we know so far. Hey, Rod.
Hey, Jason, you know, we're at Shelton Buick GMC, and they're happy here, as GMC dealers all across the country are, for their opportunity to get this hot new product, the electric Hummer. Now, what they're doing with this campaign is sort of a tease within a tease. It'll blow gearheads' minds, more than 11,000 foot-pounds of torque. How about 0 to 60 in 3 seconds? And 1,000 horsepower? It could pull a house, a big house, quickly and quietly, which is the whole pitch. The Hummer was the poster child for automotive and environmental excess a decade ago. GM will now reinvent that notion with a new grille and electric powertrain in what Navigant auto analyst Sam Al-Samid says is a very smart and interesting zero-emissions twist.
It's a recognition that, especially like Ford, they have come to the realization that if they're going to make a business out of electric vehicles, they really have to apply the technology to the kinds of vehicles that people actually want to buy.
GM will build this new electric Hummer pickup at the Detroit Hamtramck assembly plant. They announced the plan to spend more than $2 billion to rehab the plant and turn it into its most technologically advanced plant on Monday. Now, the trucks are due to roll off the assembly line at the end of next year.
It should be a very competitive entry against the likes of trucks from Rivian and the Tesla Cybertruck and the electric F-150.
Now, let me explain that whole tease within a tease thing. Turns out that this weekend in the Super Bowl, you'll see these ads, but you will not see the full vehicle. It's going to be a pickup, but it's going to be vastly different from what we knew as a Hummer back 10 years ago. So what they're going to do is play the ad and then unveil the new vehicle on May 20th. Back to you, Jason.
Really interesting because, like you said, the Hummer is what you'd think it was going away because of all that gas hogging it does. But
right.
So they're staying secretive. What else do we know about that ad that's going to hit Sunday night?
Well, we know that GM is willing to spend boatloads of money. I mean, yes, when you buy a commercial in the Super Bowl or 3, you're spending big money. But guess who their spokesperson's going to be?
Here it comes.
LeBron James.
Oh, yeah. So they brought in a heavyweight for this. And we will be looking for that Sunday night. All right. Rod, thanks.
Indeed be watching. All right. While investigators look into several sexual misconduct allegations against Martin Filbert, the University of Michigan is moving forward with a new acting provost. Effective immediately, Susan Collins will handle all the responsibilities of acting provost. Collins is no stranger to U of M and its community there. She served as dean of the Ford School for nearly a decade.